Okay. Welcome to Angel Update. Just got this big flood of tremendous enthusiasm and energy just sitting down here for the broadcast. So I'm excited to see what the angels have to share with us today. And we'll dive right in. And at any time, if you want to type questions at the chat, I'll pause occasionally and look at those. And I'm Adria. Angels Ariel and Raphael are likely to speak through me, and they will let you know who's talking. I'm a conscious channel, so I'm here as well. And today's focus is to allow space for the angels to tell us what's happening with the energies, with humankind, with planet Earth. Kind of the big picture of what do the angels see for us right now, and how can we best dive in. This is Raphael, Angel Raphael. Good. So the moment has arrived, right? There's been so much brooding and impatience. Rightly so. We don't mean that in a judgmental sense, but there's been this sense from humankind, for the most part, in the last months of pressing up against a barrier. When's it going to open? When's it going to open? And we have great compassion for the time that you're in and have been in for some time. And as we enter these open, wide open energies, you may have already begun to see in your own life that suddenly wishes that were kind of on the shelf because you gave up in frustration and banging so hard on those doors no longer open. Suddenly just a door is wide open, or someone's at your door saying, hello, did you call me? And you said, yeah, 4 months ago. So there's this a wonderful sense of delay, and now all of a sudden the wishes have come through. So we do want to reinforce the sense that it's not that you lost your ability to make wishes or hope or dream or have enthusiasm or for things that you planned to go well. It was just quite a dampening and pausing effect for all of humankind, not just you, in the last several months. So now it's largely done, that time of feeling held back and suppressed from what the heart wants. So as you, our only caution here as you come into the time of open doorways is please be mindful that what you wished for several months ago may have changed. So if something comes in now that you wished for, it's okay to change your mind, to alter course. It's okay to have a brand new idea that you like better. Just because the things are coming through now that you wished for, we don't want it to be the case that you think to yourself, oh, be careful what you wish. Because remember, from angelic viewpoint, what you wish and what comes into being through your own energetic outprint into the world is changeable. You just outprinted that wish, and look, it seemed quite long this time, but in just a few months it came back to you. Well, if it wasn't quite what you thought, like a batch of cookies you made, make the recipe different next time, or give that batch to someone else who likes that flavor. It doesn't have to feel so dismal, right? This wasn't something that was your lifelong plan. These are new wishes, new ways of creating. And so for many of you, perhaps the wishes are the same. We're just giving this caution a little bit so that if you have shifted and grown in this time and you have better ideas, go for it. You don't have to be stuck to even what your highest self could imagine 3-4 months ago. So things are open now in terms of energies, your energies, allowing them, please, to expand again. We had been counseling for a few months here to keep your energies a bit close because of the chaos, let's call it, in the environment. So now things are gentle again, soft, human-friendly, we'll say it that way. So now is the time for wishes again. And here we're not particularly talking, even though it's Christmas week, about Christmas wishes or presents, but what is it that the outprint again that you want to make in the world? This will be our word of the month. Outprint. It's not an imprint you're making, it's an outprint, which means what you desire, what your consciousness expands and folds into, becomes your world around you, and that's your outprint. So you can shift that. It's coming from you. You don't have to wait for someone else to give it to you, or yes, wait to receive it in any sense. You just outprint it. It's gentle. It doesn't have to be forceful, but it does take clarity of intent. That's all. So always, always, you're welcome to call on us, to call on the angelic by any angel names you know, or you can just say, my angels, or angels, please guide me or be with me, or I have this wish, I'd like to serve the world in this way, or I'd like to feel joyful again, or I'd like to meet some partner for work, or whatever it is. You can call on the angels also. Remember, in this time, people tend to reflect a bit more on angels, so we want to remind you we're here for you. We're not here for an exalted few or the birth of a great being only. We are here for many, many thousands and millions of souls. Whoever wants the angelic presence, it's there. And it's not limited, right? Angels don't have a long list of tasks and they'll get to you when they're ready. You get that pushback a lot from the world, the material world, right? No, angels have stepped out of time quite a long time ago, and we are there, right there in your present. We're right there for you to assist as you call on us, if you call on us for your outprint into the world. We love to dance with you. Why not? You're a delightful, delightful soul. And we stand with you, sing with you, dance with you in love for your expression in this world. Your expression can only come from you. It doesn't mean it's more valuable. It just means it's as precious as anything that this universe could provide. You are as precious as anything in the known or unknown universe. So honor that when you make your outprint, but also know, like a batch of cookies, if you don't like the first flavor or it's almost right and you want to shift it, do that. It's now time and space, and your own creations are going to feel again more fluid, which is the more natural state of things now. So you don't have to worry that whatever batch of cookies I make right now, I'm going to have to eat that for the next 40 years or even the next month. No, it's not the case. We're back to the fluid universe, which is the more natural state, both for the energies of the planet now in this new era and the energies for humankind. So beautiful. We celebrate, we delight with you, and we'd like you to join in celebrating yourself. So when you have some quiet moments, we would suggest 2 reflections for you in this month. One is, what value do I give into the world? What value do I give into the world? This is not anyone else's interpretation of value, it's yours. So from a sense of honoring yourself, you could have a meditation or a list or a little altar, whatever it is, not to yourself, but to honoring the value of what pours through you. So if you like to honor that this month, that would be a beautiful way of celebrating the change, the shift in times here. And the other question then is, given I am outpouring this value, who or what do I want to join with me in this? So you began to think of community. Is it family? Is it love? Is it collaborators, partners of some kind, friends, neighbors, community? Who or what do I want to join with me in pouring this value into the world? So this question is very present moment. Of course, you can do this any way you like. We don't like to be so prescriptive, but when we say your value, we don't mean catalog everything from when you were 3 years old and what have you ever done? It's not a judgmental thing like that. It's what do you see in yourself that you value? Could be a long, long list or a few things, whatever feels like Yeah, that's my value of my outprint right now. Right now, whether or not it's, let's say, if it's a book, it doesn't mean the book has to be published already. What is it? What's my value that I'm outprinting to the world? And then who or what do I want to join with me? And you can include angels if you like, or maybe human friends or humans that you haven't met yet. That's wide open to you for you to decide. Remember, it's your outprint here, your celebration. But that we would say when you have, we understand this is a busy time for many. When you have some moments of reflection, that's what we would suggest, because it brings you right back into what you already are and how you are expressing into the world, so that you don't have to become so aware of barriers that might have been in some past time, or fears that what you want or what your true value as it pours out, how it will be received. No, you're just right here in the present with what is your value and who or what do you want to join with you in that. Hmm. And again, can be more than one thing. So you can have a million values or one if you're feeling very focused. And again, you can change your mind. You can keep it fluid. This is Ariel, Angel Ariel. Good. So we celebrate, we trumpet. We want to speak a little bit playfully about this angels trumpeting, because in many songs of the season, right now, there are mentions about angels' trumpets. And what is this? What is this joyful noise? And what does the angelic have to do with heralding in or celebrating in a musical way what is right or great about the world? A trumpet, in its earliest sense, before high school marching band, before other forms of music, was an alert system. So if you had let's say, primally a hunter-gatherer tribe, and you wanted to alert someone just over that mountain, there's a jaguar here, a trumpet or a sound like that is a good way to send a message very quickly, or to send a message, come home. So angels do like to use sound to alert to big events, important happenings, not so much as a warning as a heralding, which is, if you think of courts of England, maybe 1900, when someone important entered a room, a trumpeter would sound an alarm of sound to have everyone look. And then the herald says, this important person is entering the room. So we do like to use sound also to herald the coming in of important energies. It could be persons. At this time, we would say it's more to us about the quality of light, the energetic, because it's available to all. Typically, the energies that angels are heralding are available to all. So you don't have to be back in that example inside the court building, the courtyard or the courtroom of the palace, in order to hear the herald and have the very important energy available to you. So yes, as you might have guessed, angels are also in many, many traditions. So we are not speaking from a Christian value standpoint right now. We're just speaking about how are angels and humans, their energies, intermingling here. And one of the things that angels love to do playfully is to herald, to trumpet through sound. So pay attention this month if you like. For some of you, this is a new clue to how to work with your angels. It does not work best for everyone. For some, it's still through the dreamscape or meditation or other forms of prayer or light. But for some of you, you have not noticed perhaps that your angels are literally trumpeting at you sometimes. And begin to be aware if a particular sound particularly influences or impacts you or opens up your heart. Just be in that resonance for a moment. It's not so important for the mind to understand let's say you have an awareness, oh, I think that was an angel. It's not so important for the mind to try to, what is it saying? But feel the feeling. Angels also, in your vibratory state, you can catch the feeling of what the message is, often right now, quite celebratory. Some of you might be feeling that from us as you listen here. So, sound can also literally break through old barriers. When you think of a wall being smashed apart by sound, or kidney stones, or sound can be used as a visual tool in a sonogram, for example. Sound is very, very potent and practical effects in the material world. So cautiously begin to open up here to the fact that you can use sound to move your environment. It's particularly your energetic one. So if you had no one else in the house and you happen to have a drum kit, and you were feeling very slothful and you needed to get up to do something, or you wanted to, you could make a lot of noise and it would wake you up. It would change something in your energetic environment. Similarly, a harp or a soothing melody could bring you into a state of calm, maybe after a traffic accident or a shopping mall, in the season, a shopping mall. So sound can shift your energetic landscape. So those are two separate things. The angels giving you clues through sound, and then you using sound intentionally to move the energies. Now that we're back in a more fluid time in terms of the earth plane, it's a little easier for you to shift things around when you don't like how it is. If you wake up depressed, or you wake up overeager and you're supposed to be very quiet that day, or whatever it is, you can adjust your own energetic field through sound. And this is going to become more and more sensitive for most of you. So you might want to begin to play with, what sounds wake me up? What sounds bring me into a heart space? What sounds calm me down? And that will be one of the more direct ways in the new era of moving your energies without having to feel like you need to memorize some system of knowledge, or have a meditation bath for 3 hours. Or you already know effective ways of moving your energy, but some of them are not always convenient or applicable right where you are when you have 4 or 5 minutes and you want to shift. Or if you want to shift in a very, very profound, deep way, once you get this relationship going with sound and light is a vibration of sound and vice versa, you can begin to interplay there with how deeply you can transform and be transformed through sound and light. So these are some of the subtle areas we'll be working with in this coming year. For those of you who wish to work with angelic tools, we're going to be moving into tools of sound and tools of light primarily. And the reason is, when you're in a fluid time, those are some of the best, most effective directed tools for creating change. And you've been still stagnant long enough, right? Most of you are quite ready to move on. Good. This is Adria. I'm just going to see if there's any questions. So feel free to type questions in the chat if you're just joining or something occurs to you during the broadcast. Okay, no questions yet. Good. So we're going to try a subtle exercise here. It will work for some of you, and if it doesn't work for you particularly, something's still happening. Just you can use the more obvious sounds later when we finish this exercise with you. Don't be too frustrated if it's not obvious here. We'd like to work with you with some inner sounds here. So if you can come into a place where you can still hear us, but you don't necessarily need to see us for this. So if it's more inward for you to close your eyes or even lay down, you can do so. Whatever feels best there. And in the top of the head, all along the top, in the energetic space, right above the head, is where you hear angelic sound. So it is not primarily through the ears. If your mind is rebelling, just let it listen and not understand for a moment. It's all right. We're giving an instruction to the part of you that knows how to shift into this over time or right away, right now. So this above your head space, maybe 2-3 inches above your head, all around the top of your head, is where you listen for angelic sound. Many scriptures of different traditions have spoken of the chorus of angelic light and the chorus of angelic flight and the chorus of angelic music. These are similar, they're intertwined. So for some of you, as you tune in to this space where you can hear angelic light and sound, you may literally see flight. You may see light or you may hear sound. That depends on your innate abilities. Some people are more inclined towards one or the other. It's the same thing though, so don't be discouraged if what you really want is light and what you hear is sound, or if what you really want is to see flight and you hear music instead. So in a gentle awareness, a prayer, if you like to call it that, you can invite the angels to sing with you, around you right now, in a way that you can perceive and know that they are there. It may be very subtle, so do not be discouraged if it doesn't sound like a trumpet or a cymbal clash. We are listening for harmonics of light. And the ear is not going to hear them. When you give up on the ear hearing them, it becomes easier to know what this is. Beautiful. So we'll come back to speaking about this. You can practice this on your own. You do not need us to be leading you in an exercise, because remember that angels are always available to you. It's just, it's your call, literally, if you want to call on them. Good. So you may, as you dip into this new way of hearing, begin to see or notice a vibratory light of some kind. And that is your angels. You're coming into the human expression, into a time when angels are quite visible again. So we'll be working with you this year on that, so that you can take advantage of what's more readily available now. Mystics, seers, different types of those who are ocularly sensitive, and others have seen angels throughout all times. So it's not that it is so rare, but what is new is this is opening for all of you. This is truly opening in a new sense. We don't quite know what to call it because it's not a sensory experience. But for now, let's call it listening or tuning to the angelic light, sound, and flight that's all there above your head in your energetic space. So sometimes when we spoke of the heralding, sometimes that will come through an outer sound. It depends on your relationship with your angels. Some of you like to be quite stoic and some a little more playful. So it might be outer sounds, ringtones of someone in a shopping mall near you, things like that. Or it might be in this more subtle space. So be playful, be cautiously optimistic. Don't rush it, but know it will come. Your angels will find a musical way of relating with you. And again, the mind doesn't need to know what is the message. For right now, we're working with you on attuning to the fact that angels can be perceived, and not just by a few, by many. And so if you want that, we'll work with you on how to be more sensitive to that, to open to that light and sound flight of angels. Beautiful. This is Adria. The angels are asking me to end. I don't think we had any questions, so it's perfect. We're just staying at kind of a celebratory and quiet time with the angels today. Beautiful. So delight in being able to share this with you. Thank you for joining. And we do have these every month if you're new. And I'll put my website address up in this recording later, but it's adriaestribou.love. So you can find other blogs and angel resources there as well, meditations and recorded play shops, if that's of interest. And so delighted to be with you in this space with the angels. So as I almost always say in one way or another, thank you for existing so that we could come together in this space with the angels. It's such a delight. It takes that existence in the world for us to call that angelic to us. You're important, you're valued by me. That's just Adria speaking. The angels already told you you have infinite value. But I want you to know I feel that way too. And so much love to you. Blessings.